Hello viewers, coming up in this one, a product review, a bit of a model making challenge and a massive thank you. Please enjoy. Right, this is the main subject of this week's video, a product review on a fairly new release by EFE or through the EFE stable as it were. This is the Leyland Atlantean and this particular one open top and in the fleet livery of Western National. You'll notice a slight difference in the branding now because, of course, EFE operated by Bachmann and the EFE Road logo. So the box immediately sort of makes this stand out. I wanted this model because I drove the original, and why not? It's, you know, if you want to collect something, why not collect something that reminds you of where your career has taken you? So the box is quite a bit different, and if we just sort of remember the traditional EFE box that we're more familiar with, this is one example of it. And I don't want to cover the whole video in boxes, but the box is interesting. This is actually, of course, a cardboard outer with the graphics, but that's hard plastic, and that is the sort of quality box that you get more from the Corgi OOC range. So that's good to see. And if you want to keep your models safe in boxes, obviously a hard box is better than a soft box. The original EFE, soft shell plastic. Recently I reviewed this BT Models coach, again cardboard outer, soft shell plastic, and even Britbus, which are, you know, towards the top end of what we enjoy, cardboard outer, but the innards soft shell plastic. So from a box point of view, great. Now, I don't do unboxing videos. Nonetheless, let's record getting this out of its box. Quite a substantial box there, as you saw, and the model is actually screwed to a plinth inside the container. So that's nice to see. The other thing that I'm really pleased to see with this model is this blue interior. When I looked at the catalogue page online for this model, which was around £45, it had a brown interior, and having driven the real thing, I knew it should be blue. So I was kind of prepared for the fact that I might have to strip this down and redo the interior, but I'm pleased to see it's arrived with the right colour blue, not maybe quite as good a match as I remember the original when I drove it, but we've got the colour there. There's a couple of other nice things about this model. I absolutely love the fact that it comes with these mirrors on it, if we can get them in focus. That's rare to see on models. There are one or two EFE models that have included mirrors over the time, but not many, certainly not all, and that's great. So again, lovely. I think on the original they were actually just aluminium, so they should be silver, but come on, let's not split. I mean, that's brilliant. What else is nice about this model? Well, the detailing, and they really have got it right, I have to say, more or less. These decals that you can see here indicating key points on a route, they were actually slip boards that rested on metal hooks on the originals, and they were kept so that if the vehicle moved to a different depot, it could just have the appropriate slip boards put into it for the route it was going to do. But nonetheless, it's really good to see them included here. Not sure about a red hub. EFE have done that before. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, I just wanted to check there. So this is the model we're reviewing. It's a Leyland Atlantean. Here is a later generation Bristol VRT open top. You can see the livery is essentially the same. And again, red hub on that wheel. I drove these as well. I don't remember them having a red hub. But if you do, and I'm wrong, please, of course, feel free to leave a comment. Right, move that over there. Let's have a look. I love this. A black chassis. I'm always painting my chassis black on EFE models, and on the project that I'm going to show you in a little while, here I've already made a start on doing it. Because if you've got these things on display cabinets with glass shelves, what you don't want to see is a chassis that is either, in this case, white or red. It just wouldn't be that way. So I do actually appreciate that this has got a black chassis. It would have been nice to see this section in black as well, but I can deal with that. I'll paint that black myself. Going round the model then, let's start at the back. Why not? Advert, spot on. That's faithfully as I remember it. We've got, these vehicles were named, and this one, Sir Francis Drake, you can see it there. I came across this vehicle at Newquay, but I think it also worked at Falmouth Depot as well in the old Western National days. But everything there is right, including the frame around the open top upper deck. And you can, I was going to make one of these myself, which you can do, but it is very difficult to get this frame right. And they've gone to much more trouble here than on later models. If I just bring this one in again, you can see it's just sort of, well, it's basically a cut down bit of their upper deck glazing. Well, anybody can do that. But, and you could recreate this, but I'm glad they've done it for us. It really does make a great deal of difference. So having done the back, let's look at the front. Again, we've got the vehicle name, accurate and correct. All the lights are in the right places. The logos are in the right places. The destination, this one, it's on there. For me, I'm probably going to change that because I want this to be Route 570, which ran between Pentire Head at Newquay and St Cullen Minor. But the vehicle's fine. On the sides, already mentioned the mirrors there that we get, and everything else is absolutely spot on as I remember it. I will, if I'm going to change the route, I will have to recreate the appropriate sideball, but that's not an issue. And it's an absolutely lovely model. As I say, cost about £45, which is quite expensive. If you run a model railway like I do, as well as, or instead of another, you wouldn't spend £45 on a model necessarily just to sit on a model railway. But as I have a lot of them, that's where these models will eventually live. And it really is superb. Great boxing. If you want to buy it just to keep and put on a shelf, the boxing on this really is of top quality. It's unusual to rave about boxing, isn't it, when we're talking about a model? But they've got it all right, As I say, slightly the wrong shade of blue, but not going to moan about that, are we? Really? Okay, thanks. So moving on then, this scale model making challenge. Well, this is the challenge, and not what you think. This is not one of those pass it round challenges and have a go. This is a challenge that I've faced myself. I'm building this Code 3 model for myself. This is the lower half of a double deck bus, EFE 176 00 gauge. Nothing really difficult to do here. Paint it white, which has already been done, and add 2 stripes, one red, one turquoise. And I found it really hard work. The mouldings on the model have not helped, but what I've had to realise, and this is the 3rd time I've tried this, very simple thing for me. What I've had to realise is that my eyes are not as sharp as they were and my hands are not as steady as they were. I do have airbrushes and I'm very competent with them, but I still prefer to hand paint with brushes, stripes and things like that on models. Maybe I'm a bit too old-fashioned, but that's how they were done originally, and that's how I like to do them on my models. And I've really struggled with it, and that's the challenge. And the thing is, these difficulties are going to come to all of us as we get older, and that is one reason why I do what I can to encourage younger scale model makers to join the hobby, because without them learning the skills from us, you know, the hobby will I wouldn't say it will cease to exist. Nothing will. I don't think it'll cease to exist, but it certainly won't be as well appreciated and practiced by as many people as it is at the moment. So if you do have a younger relative or person around you who might be interested, please encourage them, because one day you won't be able to do these very simple things. Believe me, I know. Moving on then, my last video, which was a bit of a compilation and filmed in short form content, so it looked odd on television. I had some tremendous comments and feedback from that, not just comments on the video itself, but some emails and some phone calls from people. Thank you so much. There's enough of those on the computer to do 4 or 5. I'm not going to do 4 or 5, but I will do a couple more from time to time, just so that you can get the inspiration and the ideas and the tips from them. When I made them, I wasn't particularly skilled at YouTube. Many, including myself, would say that I still am not, but I do have a following now, which I greatly appreciate, by the way, but I didn't have at the time, and some of those tips got lost. Thanks very much for your time. As always, if you have anything to say on anything you've seen in this video, I would appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. And as always, remember to give this video a thumbs up if you found something useful. Take care. We'll see you next time at St. Blazing Model World. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.